Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I'm Gerry. I am joined today by Max, and returning to the fold after his hiatus, doing instant match reaction after instant match reaction after instant match reaction, and getting thousands of views. We're lucky to be joined by Edward. Edward, welcome back. We missed thee.
Oh, you're too kind. Missed you guys too. Just like old times, eh?
Yeah, indeed. So we had a good weekend. We don't have to hate going into work. We don't have to hate looking on Twitter. We don't have to hate ourselves. Because you know something? Blues played well. Blues got a W. They grabbed the 3 points, folks. It was lovely. We need to react to Leicester. So, Edward, I believe you were the only... Were you there? You were there, right?
Well, I think I was, yeah. I remember being there.
He remembers being there, unless he was astral projecting his body. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing Edward does now. So, can you tell us a little bit about the atmosphere, tone of the supporters? How was that? How was that stadium on Saturday?
It was pretty electrifying. You know, there was just the way that all these fans were together again, and I think what really boosted, it to be such a great atmosphere and very supportive was the fact that we got the goal very early on, which obviously did help, and of course it being by one of the ones who has his own chant, Richarlison, which then meant his chant gets going a bit, and then everyone else gets going, and then Bernard's one doesn't stop getting sung for the entire game, and then it just felt really good to be there on the day. And it was sort of a bit like everyone was always asking, oh, why do people film themselves at games? Why do people do these vlogs? Why bother go to the away games? And you see in videos and that of everything, those games are why. Electric atmosphere, everyone together supporting that team that really earned that win, in my opinion. Doesn't matter about what actually happened in terms of any officials or red cards or anything. We deserved that day, and it was just incredible to see.
Yeah, that's one of the things I learned. It's one of the things I learned from Saturday is that Bernard will tear you apart.
He's only gone and done it.
Oh.
Bernard. That's right. Max,
Bernard.
Max, how are you recovering from Saturday? How are you feeling after that?
I'm feeling rather splendid, to be honest with you, Gerry. I'm really happy to see us finally look like this philosophy of football that Marco Silva's got trapped within his mind. It actually looked to be playing out on the field. The first time that I know everyone was like, oh, it was the first time that Richarlison played as number 9, but that wasn't necessarily the case, I don't think. Because a lot of the time, Gylfi was the more central of the 4 attacking players. And it leads me to the point that I want to make, that we're playing this kind of rotating attacking style where it's fluid and all the players are expressing their capabilities technically, and it's brilliant to watch. Obviously, it wasn't quite in full flow because it's still really only early days, but it's really good to see the blueprint for that down, and I'm sure it'll improve as the season goes on.
Yeah, Terry mentioned in our last record, he said, well, Silva this might be the game that Silva does that. And I was sitting there thinking, I've been burned so many times predicting Silva might do that. I was like, I'm going to wait until he does it. Well, now I can start picking that because Terry's maybe became a reality, which was nice. All right. And I want to bring a little light to the fact that Max got the final score correct.
All right. I did, didn't
I went nuts and picked a 2-goal win for Everton, but Max, very focused, 2-1. It happened. Mystic Max is back. Alert the media.
Yeah.
Okay.
After a long absence.
It was nice. That lineup, that new formation, it does seem like it's the way forward, which means it does appear that we might only see Tosun and DCL more in a supporting role coming in off the bench second half, because this does seem like that's our A game. That's our A team right there. Okay. After watching that, I can't imagine anything else, like why we would.
Do you know what's nice though? I will say that front four of like attackers, what's great about them is that they can all play like the 3 different roles. So obviously you can have Richarlison on the different wings, and in front, Bernard, Walcott, Sigurdsson all can play all 3 of those roles. So like you say, we can have this sort of a rotation basis going throughout the game. So teams, in a way, don't know how to be able to train for that and know how to play that system the way we can. And with the abilities that we've got, there's no limit to possibility. And even if Tosun does start, then obviously we can still rotate it in a way with the other 3 and leave Tosun in the main role. I just think there's a lot of possibility, like you've been saying.
Yeah, it's the style of football, I believe, that all the best teams in the world play, particularly in Europe, the free-flowing attacking football, where the players have to positional freedom to take up whatever space that they want, and it doesn't affect the system, it only makes them better. As I said, it wasn't in full swing, and it looked for the first time this season that we look capable of doing that. I mean, it's not to say we were rusty to start off early on in the season, but that was the first real, that made me stand up and think, oh, here we go. This looks like this could be our philosophy of football going forward. And something else that I think is worth picking up on, he was absolutely tremendous, particularly in his role for the first goal. Bernard, the way he kind of thinks the ball past the two Daniel Amati and Pereira, who scored the goal for them. But something I want to flag up is there was many times in the game where Bernard created the opportunities to pull the ball back into the middle, like a simple cut back into the middle. People weren't there on the end all the time. And again, it's something that'll improve. But I go back to my point, what I said earlier. I think, look at Manchester City last season. How many times did you see Leroy Sané or Kyle Walker pull that ball back into the middle for someone to just slot it home? It's the type of football that the best teams in the world play.
Just put it to the penalty spot, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll come, it'll develop, and I'm really happy with showing signs of improving in that sense.
He's just giving us a whole different creative spark. It's a player that can play the wing but distributes like a 10.
Do you know what I think? Something that I think it was after the Fulham game. I was talking about it with my cousin. He's like Steven Pienaar with pace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
that's been a common comparison, Max. I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, we finally replaced Pienaar." I've seen a lot of people saying that.
Yeah, I think it's a fair shout as well. He's very the way he manipulates the ball, his eye for skill and trickery is absolutely fantastic.
Have you guys seen the clip where it's been one of the Leicester players literally going in for a slide tackle and he just scoops it around him and just carries on like running down the wing with it? It's just an incredible bit of skill there. Definitely, I mean, similar to Gylfi's, but not as good as Gylfi's. I think we can all agree.
I mean, it was his first Premier League start, and he's our highest assist provider in the league already. All for that going forward.
Yeah, I think the only one on our squad who has that same type of tight ball control, the way Bernard does, Lookman. Lookman has that tight ball control. He does have that. I don't think he has the vision or the foresight, though, that Bernard does. Bernard, you can tell he's thinking a few steps ahead. It's almost a little bit of chess. Yeah. He's thinking, he goes up and he's like, well, I could cross, but maybe I'm just drawing him in, and then I'll cut back, and then I'll go back across. He's a smart player. He's very clever,
He's a bit of a David Silva.
That's actually really something that did occur to me. Yeah,
quite light, but bit of skill and trickery, and you never know. Maybe he could be the next David Silva. We don't know, but he's played with the best.
Yeah, I'll be satisfied if he's just serving up balls the way he's been doing the past few games. If he's even a shadow on Silva, that's already pretty solid because that guy's a hell of a player. So I need to bring up the fact that for their goal, we didn't kind of retreat back very effectively. It was a counterattack off a corner. And he's been playing okay for the past few games, but John Joe Kenny kind of got turned inside out. And I hate that but I think it's part of the consistency that young players struggle with in the beginning. It's going to happen eventually if you ask him to play game after game after game, which is why it's awesome that Coleman's coming in.
Yeah, of course. Well, like you said, that not just Kenny. Obviously, they get turned inside out, and it was a fantastic individual goal. So I don't want to shift the blame too much onto Kenny, but I think, particularly in the second half, our lack of pace at the back got exploited. In that you saw
Really?
you saw the performance that Ben Chilwell put in. The amount of time Ben Chilwell skipped free or managed to get in behind. There was and Vardy as well.
Vardy actually had several chances that he either blew or Keane gradually winnowed it down. What I mean? Like weathered the storm very slowly.
I was going to say, I actually thought that was one of our best games in terms of defensively. I know there was a lot of opportunities that Leicester really squandered, especially Vardy. But I mean, at least for the opportunity where he's nearly 1-on-1, but Keane just dragging his shoulder in that, which probably did put him off a little bit at least, and to miss the opportunity. And I thought Keane and Zuma were brilliant in that game.
For the most part, I'd say they didn't make many mistakes. I think I have to agree with you.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was a bad performance at all. I just thought that was something that we showed up. Overall, it was it was a really competitive game. It was a good game to watch. I mean, Everton were the better side in the first half, and that's the second half. I think Leicester came out a bit more, created more of the chances, and obviously that red card to Morgan opened it up for us, and we duly took advantage of that. But I thought it was a
honestly
good game.
After rewatching the second half, I didn't actually see where Leicester looked like the stronger squad. That's the thing. When I watched it, I thought we still look better than they do. They had some chances. I still thought we were stronger. Because I'm sorry, but I really am starting to dislike a lot of pundits and commentators. It's really getting on my nerves. I just think they think we're shit and they hate us, and I don't like that. I'm gotten to the point where referees, commentators, everybody, screw you. We'll go against the world. That's fine. We'll win how we need to. I don't care, But after that game was over, after we won, the first thing the commentator said was, well, Leicester were the stronger side, much stronger side in the second half. But Everton, and they acted like the only reason we won was because they had a red card. And Puel is saying that we goaded, we convinced, that we pressured the referee. Something? Richarlison gets hacked down every single game. If we are saying something is to the fourth official, it's because we're sick of that. We're like, this happens all the time. Can we actually start calling it? Last week, midweek, Yoshida probably should have had a red at some point based on all the hacks. Okay? Sorry, I'm getting heated. Literally, it's very hot in here.
No, that sounds like the first time you've said that.
I'm getting annoyed.
No, I can understand where you're coming from. We're by far, no, we're not the luckiest team in the world. The point I'm trying to make, we've never really had luck on our side. I don't think, and for me, that's just something that I'm used to. Whenever this argument rears its head, I just say, no, don't become conspiracy theorists.
Oh, no.
So it's very much like Liverpool fans. If you start going off and moaning about it, this goes against us, that goes against us.
Max, I sent you the link to the petition. The petition.
Oh, didn't you sign it? I signed it. Come on.
Stop it.
All of our results are canceled except for the ones where we won. That's the petition is about.
Pretty much.
Nah, man. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory kind of thing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm sort of sick of people acting like we don't deserve to win games.
Maybe people are too scared of our progression. I mean, we literally have the intro in it ourselves. We have run, whatever you may be.
That is the thing.
So
I think the moment we start materialising on this potential and actually, if you look back to that season where we nearly finished fourth under Martinez, which was our best finish in a long time, things were a bit better. we were treated all round better. We were more well appreciated by the media. So in that sense, I think, the more we make people stand up and take notice, the better treatment I think we'll get.
I agree with that 100%. And I think there is no way to argue that. I think that's definitely what's going to happen if we can take some responsibility, wade through these periods. I mean, when I see the video of those two pundits saying that they didn't deserve the second yellow, shouldn't have been a second yellow, and just a minute or two before, I watched Wes Morgan push Richarlison into the sideboard practically.
Into the stands.
I mean, come on. He had ample warning several times, and the first yellow, I think. I mean, he was preventing a really good opportunity from Richarlison just outside the box.
Didn't even get the ball either.
It was, I don't know. Oh, and I'm just going to go ahead and say that Walcott play that was just outside the box, but that was a foul. All right, the one where Maguire bumped him, kind of lunged out. That was a foul, but I don't think it was a pen.
He should have played it across. So is that the one where it was Rich? I think it was Richarlison or Sigurdsson were free. And I think Walcott just decided to go alone. He should have squared it.
Yeah, I just think it was I don't think it was a penalty, and I think that was the ref was scared that it was going to be a penalty. It was just outside the box.
Yeah, one of them. You don't give them until inside the box.
Actually, okay, was the Sigurdsson chance a penalty? When actually the ball gets passed over by Richarlison and it just completely misses it, but it misses everyone. And Sigurdsson
I don't remember who the player
out.
was who kind of hit him from behind, but he was right up against the keeper as well. It was just there was contact there. I don't know.
Yeah. With the keeper there, I think it's just one of those situations scrambling about. I don't think you can give any.
And something I need to mention, I did say there was a possibility that Walcott would posterize Chilwell because Chilwell struggled with speed. I'm just going to go ahead and give respect to Chilwell. As far as going forward, he was great. He was great going forward. If anything, he was posterizing other people. So, actually it was Kenny, I think. That maybe, yeah. I'm a big Kenny supporter, but you know what? He just didn't have a great game. Whatever. It happens. He's young. So, yeah, just want to give the respect to Chilwell on that. That's fair. That's a fair thing to do. But honestly, fair result. Thought we deserved 3.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yeah, first away win under Marco Silva. Gylfi Sigurdsson after the game, despite how absolutely insane his goal was, it come at an important time and it was a big win, bouncing back from that disappointment with midweek in the cup.
We should talk about Sigurdsson's goal, Max. You are correct. So why don't you wax poetical about this and set the scene or say whatever you need to about it. And I'll just dream.
Well,
I was going to do that too.
Obviously, with Leicester going down to 10 men, it did create openings and more space in and around for us to exploit. And I think we did it in the most dramatic of circumstances possible. I'm trying to be as critical as I can and analyse it. James Maddison that was closing him down. If that was someone else, maybe
some say he's still lunging.
That Cruyff turn to create space, back to goal, to turn like that. Absolutely, it was a world class goal. I'm not afraid to say it. And although the finish was absolutely spectacular, it's a trademark of his.
Yep.
He scores goals like that from range, and can't wait to see some more.
It's kind of the thing that makes the goal, isn't it? That little turn, because you don't see a lot of them, especially working out for the way it did. Definitely worked, and obviously seeing it back at that, we didn't see the greatest angle, but it's like seeing it just flying that way. Schmeichel out of reach of it is just incredible, absolutely incredible.
Just a filthy bit of footballing skill, and I'm glad 100%. Gylfi is starting to shut down those people who said he was overpriced. Keep shutting them down, Iceman.
4 goals in 4 games.
Yeah, I know it's early. We're not sitting there, but
and he got the captain's armband.
That's right.
He's wearing the captain's armband.
I have not seen that. Well. Has that happened before?
Yeah.
For him?
Yeah, he's had it once or twice. At all. I mean, I think we've got to say as well that little tactical change where Davies comes off and Sigurdsson drops a little bit back definitely helped.
Yeah,
Definitely helped.
I agree.
100%.
That's something I'm glad you hit on that,
That's
Edward.
all I'm going to say on that.
That's a point that yeah. I mean, it was was that at the point where they had just gotten their red card and he decided to play more offensive, or was that before that?
That was about.
I think it was a little bit before, because
No.
I noticed Davies. I mean, I am a Davies fan, but he was just getting left for dead a bit in terms of being a defensive liability. He just couldn't catch them with the pace. So I think the switch helped, obviously, and then the red card kind of unfolded and done us the world of good.
Yeah, the red card came, substitution came 2 minutes after the goal.
Gotcha.
As well. And then that's basically how it just went in. It was just like, oh my gosh.
Oh, and aside from being left for dead pace-wise, Davies played well. We should say that.
Yeah,
we've been talking about how big drama. Davies, he's not good enough. He's local. Get off the free pitch, man. No, whatever. He played smart. He didn't play to like thread the needle. He played to maintain possession and play quickly. It was nice.
100%.
So now that we've yammered on for quite some time, in summary, our reaction is positive. Yeah. It feels great. 2 league wins in a row. All right? Yeah, we haven't won the league. Let's just go ahead and say that. We haven't won the league. We're not saying we won the league. But you know what? After last season with Big Sam, right now, it's just like a little bit of light is like the sun. So, yeah. All right, so that's it for our Leicester match reaction. That will roll us into the international break coming up, which is always, I like to refer to it as the period of infinite sadness, the void, if you will. So we are entering the void, the international void. However, we did learn that there's going to be some players available coming back after international break. We're talking about that next. If you've been digging what we do, thanks so much. Please subscribe to the Toffee Blues YouTube channel. That'd just be awesome. Also, Edward has a YouTube channel, all right, where he's a competitive race car driver. Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, first place every time.
He also does facial hair styling, so you can check out his YouTube channel for that. Yeah, no, it's Everton vlogs, guys. It's all things Everton. He goes the game. He talks about it. He gives you match day experiences. Yeah, I don't get to, so that's why I watch them. Plus, Edward's a nice guy, so there's that. But anyway, Jammy James is the name of his YouTube channel. But also, Max is everywhere, man. Keep an eye on his Twitter account so you can kind of see which podcast he's on next, or if he's got stories coming out, match reports, that kind of thing. I just read it. I just read his match report.
He's good at them.
Okay? Didn't mention me once, so I clicked off of it. Feelings were hurt.
You didn't score a screamer from 30 yards, though.
If I'd have known your criteria was that steep. So that's it. We're going to go on, roll on to the next segment. So I guess we're out of here. And bye.